Hi friends, it's Miss Erin and our new study is buildings. So I have decided to read a book about a building and this is called a skyscraper. Do you know any of the shapes in there that we have learned in class? Can you see it? What is this called? A triangle, and it has three pointy edges. 1, 2, 3. And what else do you see down there? Do you know what that is? That is a rectangle. It's got 2 long sides and 2 short sides. So this book is called Amazing Structures Skyscrapers. And that is the title of the book because it's on our cover. Amazing Structures Skyscrapers by Rebecca Pettiford. This is the table of contents, and this tells you what each chapter is going to be about and what we are going to read. Chapter 1, Touching the Sky. People have built tall buildings for a long time. Early buildings were made of heavy stone. The walls were thick to support the weight of the stone. In our Zoom meeting, when we did our KWL chart, somebody wanted to know what buildings are made of. And buildings back in the day were made of stone. Ooh, look at all these tall buildings. Today, most tall buildings are in cities. They are made of steel, glass, and concrete. They are called skyscrapers. People work in skyscrapers and they also live in them too. So in the city, they can work there and they can live. And we also found out in this page that skyscrapers are made of steel, glass, and concrete. So that was another thing that they are made of. Space is limited in the city. Building up gives people more floor space. They can live and work in space that had once been in the sky. What number is this? That's right, it's the number 2. It says the first skyscraper, so we're going to learn about the first ones. In the 1800s, important inventions made skyscrapers possible. What do you think inventions mean? Inventions are something that people come up with and create. People found a way to make a lot of steel. So this is steel. Safe elevators move people quickly to each floor. Now buildings could have more floors. They could be taller. Remember in our KWL chart, one of our friends said in our Zoom meeting that buildings are super tall. Just like this one. So this is an elevator, and it helps people move from place to place in the buildings. The first steel skyscrapers were in Chicago and in New York. The Empire State Building in New York was the first building to have more than 100 floors. The tallest skyscraper has 160 floors. It's called the Burj Khalifa, and it's in Dubai. And that's the skyscraper. Look how tall it is, friends. Oh my goodness. Do you know any buildings that could be close to that tall? Let's see if you know any. Chapter 3, that's the number 3. Building skyscrapers. Skyscrapers are built around a steel frame. So that's the steel frame. It is made of beams and columns. The frame supports the weight of the building and everything inside it. It resists the pull of gravity. It also must stand up to wind and earthquakes. Ooh, we're gonna figure out who builds skyscrapers. What do you think? Who builds skyscrapers? Who builds skyscrapers? Architects draw the buildings. They decide how it'll look. They decide how many floors it will have. So this is an architect. He comes up with the ideas on how many floors and what it's going to look like. Engineers decide how strong the steel frame needs to be. The building inspectors go inside. They make sure the building is safe. So that is a building inspector, and that's the engineer. Ooh, look at this one. This one looks like it has new shapes in it. Do you see it? What shape is that? That is a diamond. And I also see, what are those? They got those pointy edges, those 3 pointy edges. 1, 2, 3. Those are triangles. Now that buildings have reached new heights, they are trying new shapes. What do you think skyscrapers will look like in the future? Do you want to build one? We built some buildings in our classroom before with some of our blocks that we have. Who knows? Maybe you will live in a skyscraper you built. And this page is just an activity page of what you could do. You could build a skyscraper. All you would need is different boxes. So this could be a shoe box or cereal box, glue or tape, paint and brushes, newspaper, and a tape measure, and you could make your own skyscraper. If you choose to do so, you can send us pictures through the cloud, or you can send us through an email or text message and show us the skyscraper that you may have built. So this is our book, Skyscrapers, and we learned that skyscrapers use different shapes. They are made out of steel, concrete, and back then they were made in stone. They also need people to help build them, like architects, building inspectors, and engineers. I hope you enjoyed this book, and I wish you well. Bye, friends.